In today's video, we are reacting to Gen Z doesn't know how to socialize in real life anymore. You guys, before we get into the video, I'm going to say this. Over the last couple of months, I've really been focusing on my YouTube grind and everything. So because of that, I've just really been at home, and I haven't really been socializing. I do see the difference in how I socialize with people now. Everything really does feel like not fake, but like, I can talk on camera, I can talk on text to people, but when I meet them in real life, you know it's very awkward. But anyways, you guys, let's get into the video. Please subscribe, and yeah.
Hey Emer, how you doing?
Jesus.
Hey, are you okay?
No, I've been home in turmoil for the past month since my trip to Turkey left me botched and alone.
Well, I did see this one video from the super hot and sexy YouTuber talking about how run clubs are great for friends and like finding a lover maybe.
I think I just need community.
Well, do you talk to people in real life?
Well, no.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Emergency and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're talking about community, especially how it relates to and with the loneliness epidemic that young people, Gen Z, and millennials have all been experiencing over the past couple years. Everyone's been talking about it. I've made videos on it before, and everyone has been experiencing it to one degree or another, where it feels like people are now less connected than ever. There's been a dwindling sense of community overall, and people just being more lonelier now than ever. However, in that, it's not all doom and gloom. I also wanted to talk about this cultural shift that I feel like we're starting to see now, and something that has been bubbling under but definitely starting to make waves now, especially this past summer, where it seems like being out the way and being to yourself / introversion as a whole is out, and being
Hold on.
actually connected, being more tapped in, and being more selectively extroverted is now in. Now that
I will say this, it really does feel like, also in Western communities, it's really like, yeah, just stay to yourself. Have very surface level friendships. I do have a couple of intimate friendships, but I don't know, sometimes I guess that's just life. I guess that's growing up. You have less time to spend with your friends and your family. You have to be very intentional about spending time with friends and family. And I just feel like a lot of us just don't have that intentionality anymore. Like, no one is really willing to go out of their way to inconvenience themselves for a friend. I'm guilty as charged, I'm guilty of doing that too. But, you know, I guess we just live in a different time. And no one wants to seem like they're the ones doing too much.
video topic in discourse was inspired by a TikTok that I saw relating to the whole cashier discourse that was going on TikTok the past week or a couple weeks ago.
Okay, hold up, chill.
Relating to
my take on cashiers don't talk anymore. Let me tell you something, okay? Me personally, because I'm a cashier right now too, I work as a cashier. I will talk, I talk. But it does get kind of stressful. Like, you get kind of tired interacting. Like, I'm about to go to work right now. I have work in like an hour. And I'm just thinking about, like, now I have to fake all these surface level, conversations. That is how it is like for me.
cashier discourse that was going on TikTok the past week or a couple weeks ago, where if you were fortunate enough to not be tapped into that conversation, basically started from this one creator talking about an experience where she was checking out this one cashier and the cashier did not say hi to her, which made her ask like, hi, I wonder why cashiers don't say hi anymore, which then exploded into a week-long discourse about class consciousness, capitalism, privilege, and much, much more.
No, it's not that long. It's not really like that. As a cashier, I am telling you that we just be getting tired. You stand there, like here, they make you stand for like 5 hours and you're just doing the exact same thing, meeting different people. And, it's like, hey, hi, how's it going? They say they're good. And then you have a meaningless conversation that you're not even going to remember at the end of the day. Like, that cashier one, nah, bro. No.
here to talk about all that specifically, but this one video that did come out of this conversation that branched almost into a completely separate one, it talks more about the sense of community and the cultural shift that is going on with younger people, both going on now and in the near future, and I thought that her take was really interesting.
Can I tell you my theory about what I think this whole cashier shouldn't have to say hello and the backlash against it means for where we're going culturally in the next few years? You're never gonna guess. Okay, for context, this girl said cashiers don't greet you anymore. It's kind of weird. And then this kicked off a whole discourse, predictably, where people are like, you classist monster, because wanting people who are in customer service jobs to deliver customer service makes you a monster. And there's been a really noticeable backlash to that. Like, this isn't common sense. You could get another job at the grocery store where you don't have to talk to people. Like, saying hello is not the same thing as dealing with people trauma dumping on you, whatever. And I think it's a pretty good indication that we're moving away from this introvert focused, isolationist, don't invite me to the party because I'm not going to go. I get to the function and I just can't wait to leave sort of mentality.
Yeah, people be like that, bro. On my friend's birthday, there was this one girl, she hit me up and she was like, oh, she hasn't gone to a party in a while, blah, 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 And we get to the party and we see that it wasn't like a club kind of vibe. And then she just starts shitting on the party, mind you, I don't know this girl from anywhere, and she was like, oh, can I come with you? And I was like, you know what, why not, no problem having a +1. But she was just shitting on the entire party, and I'm just like, yo, why are you doing this? It's someone's birthday and you're saying the party is trash. We're here to celebrate the person, not shit on the party. And she's like, oh, should we go somewhere else, blah blah. And I'm like, no, what the fuck, we're staying here at my friend's birthday. And I don't know, bro, I don't know, anytime I go out, sometimes it's like, oh, you get there, you're there for an hour, and next thing you know, people are asking, what time are you leaving? Bruh.
Popular for the past decade.
Just enjoy the moments, bro. Enjoy where you are.
I want to make this video sort of to expand on that and talk more about the general notion of community and being social, being in, and the normalization of isolation and isolative behaviors, as well as the growing asocial/antisocial behavior that we've been seeing both in person and online. So if that sounds interesting to you, definitely sit back, grab a snack or a meal. Yeah, I said meal. That food look real good over there, don't it? It's good? Okay. Enjoy while you watch this. I'm sorry if you felt called out by that, and if you did not feel called out and you are not currently eating while you're watching this video, maybe try eating next time. Catch that, because that was a double. But yeah, if you're new, before we get started, definitely subscribe, leave a like, follow me on my socials at Emergency. Check the link in my description to see the latest episode of my podcast, Shameless Promo. Season 1 is almost done, so you have a lot of backlog content you can watch, as well as catching the last 2 episodes as they air every Thursday. But yeah, let's get to talking. I think what got me started thinking about this topic conceptually, outside of the TikTok, was the big boom and surge in community-based activities that we saw this past summer. And yes, I say past summer. I know, it's really soon. And it hurts me to say because it felt like...
Yeah, bro, summer is over. Summer, this summer for me, I worked for majority of the summer and I told myself that I'm never doing that again. It's good to enjoy your summer. Please, as much as people are yes, grind. And I did grind all summer and now I'm almost at 1,000 subs and I see my grind paying off. I do think that it's good to enjoy your life. It really is good to enjoy your life. And I will say I didn't enjoy my summer to its fullest potential. I can't even lie. I was just working.
Really came and went. But yeah, this past summer, we're now in fall. RIP summer 2024.
Infiniti QX50 and QX55. Now is the time to step into luxury.
We all saw an influx of interest in-person community-based activities like run clubs, book clubs, fitness groups, and other niche interest-based gatherings. That just had not been the case in the years prior. And of course, we have a whole pandemic to thank for that largely, but it seemed like for so long, the effects of lockdown and isolation seemed that they were carrying on and were going to be an irreversible effect socially on young people, at least culturally. But this summer proved that that does not have to be the case for Gen Z. Of course, this wasn't the case for everybody. And while I think that summertime and summer weather definitely contributed to this boom. As the creator, as the previous TikTok stated, I feel like we're seeing this as sort of a societal response to the growing loneliness epidemic that we've all been so used to seeing for the past couple of years. Because for much of Gen Z's early adulthood, we've kind of been stripped of that. Like, speaking for myself, I've picked up run clubbing and group fitness in my life, so that
Yeah, I do. I think that like the biggest thing is like the run clubs, bro. There has been a rise in run clubs. Like my brother is in a run club right now. He tells me, Dio, this is great. You need to join a run club. Join a run club. Running is not really my thing. I like playing basketball. I should start playing basketball again, but I'm making excuses. But for the most part, YouTube takes a lot of my time, and I also have a job. I need to grind my YouTube. I need to work my job, and I don't need to play basketball. I feel like sometimes, like, I am putting my social life to a back seat because I want to attain a level of success. But I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe next week I'll tone it down on something. I don't want to tone it down on YouTube because I really love doing YouTube. Maybe I should stream. No, 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 no. Ah.
have that sense of community that I feel like I've been missing, especially since moving across the country post-grad and not having that baked-in social community that I feel like a lot of people are used to having, either from school or from your hometown, or even, and this one's kind of debatable because it's not technically a third space, your job. And what I realized after a full summer of really delving into these communities and hobbies, well, I should say I didn't realize how much I was missing that sense of community in my life. And as someone who has historically claimed to always be an introvert, like you can ask anyone that knows me, I am not one to be outside. There's a reason why I'm on here yapping in these four walls. I grew up chronically online. I was always in the house on the internet. I largely prefer to stay inside and do my own thing as opposed to going.
I think I'm a bit of both. Like, I love a fun time outside. Like, if I'm outside and I'm having a great time, I love that. But I don't know. Sometimes I wouldn't just mind being at home chilling, Like, it's peaceful. It's nice here. There's food in the fridge. But I will say, sometimes I do, like, it's nice to have people around you or someone around you. I see why people enter relationships and get married.
Those more IRL social connections, if that makes sense. And while now in my adulthood, I definitely do still prefer my own alone time because I think at my core, I am still an introvert. I've been finding more and more fulfillment and joy from in real life social interactions and being more connected socially and being a part of a community, which has been a huge shift for me. And some of my friends that I've also been talking to have expressed similar sentiments. And I think it really makes you think how much IRL connections really mean to you as a person, whether that's meeting up with your weekly book club, going to dance classes, hanging out with your group of friends, or picking up a phone call. Connection is important, which is why I'm so excited to partner again with this video's sponsor, Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile is an affordable premium wireless service with plans that all include culture to a extroverted one. I don't fully agree that we're going to see a giant shift towards like complete extroversion, kind of similar to how the culture was back in like the early 2000s and 90s, where I feel like just everybody was outside all the time. I do agree with the fact that since like probably like the 2010s, there has been this cultural acceptance and promote.
But also, I don't know, in terms of being outside, people can barely afford to be outside nowadays. Bro, every time maybe not every time, but more times than not, like, when I would leave my house, I'd spend $100. Now, mind you, it's a bit less now because like when I say leave my house, I mean like go to the city, go to Toronto. So like it's like $20 to go and come back. So that's $40 gone already. Or like $30-ish gone on transports. You're going to buy food, then activities, Ubers. Now like I just back around the city in Toronto because I don't want to spend money on Ubers. So now I don't spend $100, maybe maybe like 70. But like it's just compared to how much I make, that $70, it's like like spending it on fun is just like damn. Sometimes it feels like a waste. Sometimes it feels like the money could have gone to something better. You feel me?
of a more isolated, more introverted lifestyle. Like that creator said, it was cool, or at least not seen as a bad thing, to say that you want to be out the way, to say that you love being in the house, to say that you're not someone who's super outside. You're not, I hate to say, like, not like the other girls, but like not like the other girls adjacent. Like, you're not one of those crazy partiers. You're not one of those people that like constantly need to be in people's spaces. You're okay with just being in your house, chilling in pajamas with some pizza. Like that, I feel like really ruled the 2010s up until I want to say 2020. Like, think the self-deprecating BuzzFeedy era of the internet and just culture as a whole. For many of us, we were either kids or teenagers during this era, and while a lot of things did contribute to the generalized introversion of that era outside of the internet, like the beginning of the end of third places for young people to congregate, which could be a whole separate video and may actually tie into something I'm going to talk about later. I don't know, I'm going off script here, because I feel like teenagers and adults under the age of 21 are kind of underrepresented, or at least like not thought of as much as like adults. Because sure, when you're a kid, you have a space to go, like you're hanging out at friends' houses, you're having play dates, you're staying at your own house with your family, you're at school, you're at aftercare, whatever, what have you. But like once you're a teenager and you have a little bit more autonomy of your time, there's kind of like no space for you to go. Like the spaces for teenagers used to be malls, but now since malls are dying and the malls that do exist are very anti-teen and go out of their way to enforce curfews for teenagers, there's not really spaces for them to be in a productive manner, which is a contributing factor to why I think we're seeing such antisocial mean behavior from people in public, but we'll get there. But going back to the concept of us becoming a less introverted society as younger people, I think there definitely is a point to be made about people basically getting their worst fear, like the most extreme version of an introverted society, through the lockdowns that happened during the quarantine phase of the pandemic. Like, I don't think there could have been a wider scale example of intense isolation. I will say though, as an introvert, I did kind of love the beginning of it, not having to socially engage.
Okay, so COVID, bro. COVID, and we still talk about this because that was a crazy time. At first, it was nice not to go to school. You could sleep in, you'd still do your work. Everybody was playing 2K, and it was cool. It was like, damn, this is, it felt like the peak of like, this is technology, and like you can really meet people and interact with people online, blah blah blah. But I really do feel like it took a turn in the sense that, like, a negative turn in the sense that, like, now people don't know how to really interact in person. Like me personally, when I see people online and I see them in real life, I get shy. I get so shy. Like, I get so shy. Like, if I watch your content and I see you in real life, or if you watch mine and I know that you watch mine, I get shy. Because, like, I'm so used to just yapping behind the screen, talking to my camera and not talking to, like, real human beings, that, like, when I see real human beings and it's, like, time to socialize, I'm like, shit, I hope I'm not being weird. Like I hope I'm being okay.
Like fake anything or like fake have a good time was nice at first, but I will emphasize at first. But I feel like for a lot of people in the world at large, many people found out that maybe they weren't that introverted. And in that, many people were looking to get as far away from that reality as physically possible, where a lot of natural extroverts that went through that experience came out even more so extroverted and wanting to connect to people because they lost that aspect of themselves or weren't able to nurture that aspect of themselves. And where more introverted people either became more so introverted or became slightly less so introverted, because there still is a need for that connection even as an introvert. Like the end of lockdown is where we started seeing the popularization of the phrase "we outside," because prior to lockdown,
Bro, nobody was outside.
No need to say "we outside" because being outside was a given.
Oh, no, yeah, it was a given. Being outside was like, yeah, like, I'm going to be outside. Like, we were outside, like, oh. Like, there was a point in time where your friends didn't even have to, like, text you to be like, oh, we're going to meet up here. You would just always meet up at the same place at a certain time. And that was just a given, Growing up, it was 5 p.m., 4:30 p.m. to like 8 p.m. Everybody's outside having fun, like when I was a kid.
Whereas back then, and even sort of now, that's seen as sort of a luxury or a deviation from the norm. And now I sort of want to take a break from that and transfer over to the part of the video where we're talking about the rise and normalization of these antisocial slash asocial behaviors that we've been seeing in public and online over the past couple of years, in my opinion, due to the lack of connection and community that everyday people have on a day-to-day basis. And I do want to say very quickly, as a bit of a learning moment for many people, I say antisocial slash asocial because those are two completely different things and people use them interchangeably all the time. Let me hop in my Cleotrapa bag really quick. So there's antisocial and there's asocial. I feel like people use these two terms interchangeably when they don't exactly mean the same thing. Antisocial behavior is defined as behavior that is harmful to society or goes against social norms. Think of things like verbal abuse.
Interesting. That's antisocial. Interesting.
Or violence, as well as things like theft, arson, vandalism, and the sorts. Very harmful, not something to claim as a personality trait positively. Then you have asocial behavior. An asocial behavior defined as a lack of desire or inability to engage with others socially.
That's interesting. Okay, so the word isn't antisocial, it's asocial. Asocial. So that means a lot of people are asocial. That's interesting. That's good to know.
Sometimes people say that they're antisocial when they mean to say that they're asocial, because asociality is more so linked to introversion and not wanting to talk than antisocial behavior. Antisocial behavior is a little more intense. And now that we have that little lesson, there has been a noticeable rise and sense of normalization between both antisocial and asocial behaviors. As far as the asocial lens of things, people have been talking to each other less and less, and the average young person is engaging in fewer in-person conversations per day because we've become more insular and isolated. I can speak for myself that there have been times where I've had more conversations online than in person in a day, which is still some form of communication and is still some form of connection, but it's not the same because you're not...
It's not the same. It's not the same as seeing people in real life and actually talking to them, and it's not the same, bro. Like nowadays, anytime like I'm texting people, or no, let me in fact, oh gosh, I have so much to say about this. There was this one time I was talking to a girl, and we got into a fight, and I told her that, yo, I'm not even going to lie, like respectfully, if I've never seen you in real life, it's just as good as talking to AI. Cause I've never seen you, like, especially if you don't make content, and like I've never even seen a video of you. Like it's just like, you might as well not be like a real human being. Like you might as well be AI. And that's the stage that I'm getting to in life. So like since I'm getting to that stage now, like sometimes my online interactions, I try not to even think about it too much, because it's like this shit isn't even real.
Using the same sets of skills in the same way. There also has been a documented rise in antisocial behavior of people just being meaner and worse to each other, both online and in person. And the research that I've done, a lot of the examples that they bring up and talk about have to do around public transport. Like almost all the blogs and articles that I saw were about people talking about things like fare evasion and like being unnecessarily loud in like public transit. And like for one of those, I feel like there is a larger issue at play there. But I think that something that is definitely noticeable to the average person that isn't taking public transport is that people just aren't as kind day to day, or should I say courteous day to day. And no, this is not completely going back to the cashier conversation. This goes for like day-to-day interactions where someone does not owe you anything. You're not being paid to have a social interaction. There's not an inherent power imbalance or power dynamic between the two people talking. These are just two people on the street or waiting in line or anything like that. It feels like there are less of those conversations, especially...
Yeah, people don't do that. You guys, I don't know, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that next time, just like talk to someone. Cause like anytime like I end up having conversations like that, I really appreciate it. It's like, oh wow, we're having a real life human to human conversation right now. It's interesting. Oh, my PS5 is going off. Sorry, oops. Oh, okay, it's black. But anyways, that was chaotic. But anyways, yeah, like it's nice when you just talk to people in real life. I get that some people may be tired, some people may not want to be disturbed, blah blah blah. And even people having like headphones on right now, it's like, oh, no one wants to be disturbed. But I do miss, talking to people. Please drop a comment. I love it when you guys comment. It counts. It's not a real form of connection, but I guess I'm connecting with you guys in some way.
Younger people. And in that, especially with Gen Z, we've been seeing more negative slash mean behavior in real life that also translates to online. Like, we currently live in a time where you don't want to do anything that stands out too much in public, because at any time a random passerby, or who you think is a random passerby, could walk by you and record you doing literally whatever without your knowledge and post you on social media, making fun of you for wearing, doing, or acting in a certain way. And then consequently have hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of people making fun of you online for something that you did not know you were either doing or know that you were being recorded for. Like, you can just take a couple of scrolls on social media to find some sort of content like this of someone filming someone in public and people either laughing or making fun of them. And I don't want to say in all cases this is negative. In some cases it can be just generally pretty funny where no one's being mean, but more so just being like, oh my god, look at this. But there is a whole genre of content on the internet, or people going up to other people or just recording other people and getting their reactions to things. And in that similar vein, the people online, the people behind the screens are also meaner than ever. Like, I feel like the default online now is to engage expecting hate or expecting to see hate comments or see something ridiculous said about somebody or yourself, because it feels like the state of internet culture right now is so inherently negative, and we've kind of normalized that. Like, it's not something that we ever really push back on as a culture. We kind of just meme on it, find it funny, then move on. Or if someone responds to the hate or backlash that they're getting, saying that, hey, I'm kind of uncomfortable with this, or like, please stop harassing me, it's either met with more pushback or with allegations that like people should not be on the internet to begin with. They can't handle the pushback that they're getting, and that they should seek either career or entertainment elsewhere. And I'm kind of straying a little bit, but I promise this will all come together. And I think one of the reasons that we've seen an increase in both online and in-person antisocial and asocial behaviors is because of the increased loneliness and lack of community for the everyday person. People say this online all the time.
It's true, bro. I made a video about this yesterday. It feels like I just go to work, I come back home. I feel like I'm always on my phone, because that's the best, well, only form of, you know, like interactions with people that I have. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I miss seeing people in real life.
I really do think a lot of it is true. Genuinely happy people and fulfilled people aren't hating on another person. They're not. They're not leaving hate comments. They're not dragging your fave. They're not doxing. They're not being genuinely nasty online, because there's no real need to be. And I think that since so many people are unhappy and feel so lonely and feel like they need to lash out to get those interactions or to just make themselves feel better to certain degrees, we've just been seeing more of that behavior. And there's actually stats behind this one. It's not just me yapping. This has been brought up so many times by so many different creators, by so many different people online. But like, loneliness has been at an all-time high recently. And research done by the American Time Use Survey, looking at social isolation between age groups, in 2010, 15 to 24-year-olds experienced about 28% of their time alone, whereas in 2022, 41.1% of their time is spent alone.
Yeah, isn't that insane? That's an insane stat. That is an insane stat. Yeah. Yeah, you know. Oh, I mean, I'm 25 to 34 now, considering that I'm 25. But yes, you know, a lot of us spend a lot of time alone, you know. Ah, damn.
Can't necessarily be a good thing. I know that a lot of that can be attributed to lockdowns, but even then, like, it's 2 years post the actual lockdown for that survey. But like 15 to 24 are supposed to be the years where you're supposed to be the most social and most connected in your life. Like, you have so many baked in connections from school, from college, traditionally during that time. And typically you think of like those levels of loneliness for older people, because traditionally older generations are more lonely because they have less friends. But according to that survey in 2022, young people spend more time alone than people that are 25 to 44, which is wild. And these extended periods of alone time can contribute to identity issues, feelings of lack of connection or self-importance or value, and a general disconnect from society that I feel like...
Yeah, I feel disconnect from society is so real. You know, as extroverted as I may come across to people in like my real life, like, I really do feel like, you know, I'm just not asocial. You know, it's one thing to come and just talk to a camera, and it's another thing to actually talk to somebody in real life.
Gen Z and young people experience. So again, it makes sense that having those feelings and having those experiences can contribute to a lot of the behavior that we've been seeing, both from the antisocial, asocialness that we discussed before, and the positive of people choosing en masse to then go and change something about it and to find a sense of community and connect people so they don't have to feel that way any longer. So I really think that we're seeing two different responses to the loneliness epidemic that we've been seeing. Like, of course, there's like the default of like staying in the position that you already are in, but in terms of like how that change has been seen, it makes sense as to why people are choosing for something different, choosing to engage more with community and find community in spaces that they haven't before. And I'm personally interested to see how this holds up as we move into colder months, because again, I do think that a large portion of why we saw such a boom was because the weather was good. The real test to see people's commitment to community will come when it is more of an intentional effort to go out and seek that community. When the weather isn't nice, when it's raining, when it's cold, when it's snowing.
Please don't remind me that this is about to be Canada soon, bro. Don't remind me. The snow sucks. It sucks. Like, you couple season, cuddle season, when you have your babe, I understand it, because when it's cold like this, bro, and like, being intentional, seeing multiple people versus just seeing your one person, it's way easier. Because dealing with all of this again,
It is no longer as convenient to meet with people. If we're still seeing that movement towards generalized connection and communication between people in real life, I will be pleasantly gagged and gooped. So I guess this is me saying, get your book clubs ready, get your indoor dance classes ready. Hell, whip out the game boards, whip out the D&D, whip out the movie nights, whatever have you to connect with people, to experience that community and to continue growing your hobbies and social sphere. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say for the sake of this video.
Hey, yo, you guys, I guess that's the end of the video, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this video. Me personally, I'm going to give you guys off with this. Me personally, I really feel like connecting with people has become very, very hard. I do feel very, very strange sometimes when I meet people in real life, and it's time to have a conversation. Like, if it doesn't have to do with like money or me presenting something like for my business or something, then it's just like I don't know. It can just be awkward sometimes. It can just be very awkward sometimes, and I guess it's something that I need to work on. But yo, let me know what you guys think. I'm coming through with videos every single day.